Morning everyone. Welcome to our daily challenge. So today we're looking at the 5 Tibetan rites. So namaste, welcome to class. I'll just give you a couple of moments to click into class. Turn my music down a little bit. It's got a bit loud. Good. So welcome if you've made it this morning. I'll just give you all a few moments to click in. I don't think it's quite 9 o'clock, or it's nearly 9. Lovely, so I can see a couple of you joining in. We're going to be, today's session is partly a little bit of an explanation about the Tibetan rites, a bit of information on why we do the practice, and also some hints and some benefits and just a bit of a general background to the 5 Tibetan rites. And then we're going to walk through each. Good morning everybody, hello. Nice to be with you this morning. Hi Pat, hi Lucy. So then what we're going to do is a nice gentle kind of walk through each of the rites, and there will be the offer of modifications as well for each of these rites too. So don't feel you have to go rushing straight into the full the full movement if it doesn't work for you. And also, again, as with all of my classes and every practice that we work with, I really want you to think about being nice and safe in your practice. So making sure you've got enough room to do your practice, making sure that you're not overstretching the body and that you're not kind of working in a way that's going to put any pressure anywhere on your body that's going to cause problems. So welcome. As I say, I'll give you all a few moments just to click in before I get started. First of all, of course, just think about, you don't need to have any props. You don't even really need a mat. You can do this anywhere. You can do it on a hard floor, you can do it on carpet, etc. It's not completely necessary to have a mat with you. And you don't need any props to do this either. Make sure that you're nice and comfortable, that you're wearing clothes again that are stretchy. But again, with the Tibetan rites, they're a practice that can be done on a daily basis wherever you are. So if you were somewhere, if you were kind of away on holiday, you can do it really easily. It's not, and it's a short practice usually. So normally it only takes, depending on where you're at with your practice, it can take anything between 5 minutes and 20 minutes. It's not one of those things that takes hours and hours to do. So the 5 Tibetan rites, I'm going to get started because I think most of you are on now, but obviously you guys can all look back if you need to get any more information. So it's a daily practice which helps us to build prana and life force energy within the body. So you've heard me talk a bit before in the past about the Ayurvedic system of health, the chakra system. So the Tibetan rites are said to stimulate all 7 of the main chakra points. So what that means is it helps you to build energy, sets a foundation for the day, as well as lots of other benefits. So it was allegedly practiced by Tibetan monks to ensure longevity. So also known as the fountain of youth, and they say that if you're keeping your spine flexible and your body moving, that you are only as young as your spine, and actually can help you to improve the length of your life by giving you extra added prana, energy and life force, but also the movements that take place within the body as well all help towards that. It's supposedly over 2,500 years old, and was brought to the West in 1939 by a chap called Peter Kelder in a book called The Eye of Revelation. And he travelled to Tibet and saw the monks kind of doing this and wanted to bring this exercise back to the West, and so published a book in 1939. I think it was in Canada or North America, and basically brought these practices into sort of the Western world. So as I said, they're also referred to as the 5 rites of rejuvenation or the fountain of youth, and they're made up of 5 movements. So that's all you have to remember is 5 movements. The first movement is called spinning. I mean, some of you will have done this with me already in the past. So I did do a workshop on it a little while ago, a couple of years back. So it might just be a recap for you, of course. So the first one is spinning. The second one is leg lifts. The third one is known as a dynamic ustrasana or a dynamic camel. The fourth one is tabletop, and the fifth one is up dog, down dog. So there's 5 movements. As I say, minimum time requirement, it takes between 5 minutes and 20 minutes per day, depending on how slowly you breathe and depending on how many repetitions of each rite that you do. Benefits are noticeable. Changes to energy and mood can happen within a month, and I know that a couple of my students have been practicing it on a fairly regular basis and have definitely seen improvements quite quickly. Minimum space required, you just need a body's length or you need the size of a mat, and it can be done anywhere. You don't need any equipment. So as I've said before, it can be done whilst travelling. Benefits, so some of the things that the Tibetan rites can help to improve over time are people have reported a big improvement in sleep, a reduction in insomnia, helping you to wake a bit better and to feel more energised. Improved spinal health and relief from joint pain and general pain as well. Can help to facilitate kind of weight loss and toning as well in the body, because of moving, and as you build up the rites and they become more vigorous and you move a little bit quicker, obviously there's a little bit of a cardio impact. Improved strength and endurance as you build through it, better memory, emotional and mental health, and just a general greater sense of well-being and balance and all that kind of thing. So with the spinning, with one of the very first move, that has proven to be very effective for people who suffer with giddiness or nausea or that inner ear stuff. So as children, we tend to spin around and do all this thing. And as we get older, we don't do it. And the reason that we find that we get giddy when we do stuff is because we don't practice spinning. So if we do more spinning, and we need to take it nice and slow. I'm not in any way suggesting that you start throwing yourself around the living room like a spinning top, because that could lead to accidents. So I want you to be really mindful. But what you can do is start this practice in a gentle way and then begin to build. And then as you build, you will notice this reduction in giddiness and problems eventually that can be caused by inner ear imbalance. So if any of you suffer with that or nausea, it can be very helpful. Okay, helpful hints. So I put a thing up last night in the group. I'm not sure if you all saw it or not, but ideally you perform it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. So maybe just a little bit. I've just had some warm water and lemon this morning, and I have something to eat afterwards. So if you can do that, that's better. So obviously you haven't got all your breakfast slushing around. Practice daily for full effect. So you do it every single day, you're going to notice the effects. And as I say, with it being a short practice, something you can do on your own, it will, give you a good effect. Shower first. So if you're showering afterwards, they say that it dissipates the prana and the life force and the energy that you've built up. So it's not a huge problem. Morning, Joanna, I can just see you've just joined on. It's not a huge thing, but obviously for the full effects of the Tibetan rites, try to get your shower in first, and then you're not needing to shower afterwards. So as I say, today is just a general walkthrough. From tomorrow we'll start kind of putting it into practice, and I'll probably put up online this piece of paper with all the bits of information for you too. Okay, make sure you've got enough space. You can do it indoors or outdoors. So if any of you are feeling brave, Melissa, I know you're brave. You can pop a bobble hat on and you can go and do it in the garden. That would be absolutely fine. Okay, so indoors, or in fact outdoors, is actually really good. So if the weather's nice, it's really good because you're increasing your oxygen levels, and it's just nice to practice outdoors now and again. So most importantly here, begin at a slow pace. So don't feel you have to do the full rites straight away. We always do the same number of repetitions per rite. So you need to get good at all of them, say doing 3 of them, before you move on. Okay, so you need to be able to do all of them before you move and expand that number up each time. Keep the rites in order. So you might want to make a note of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and just pop it somewhere so you know that you're doing them in order. Be patient with yourself. Try not to rush Try not to rush to the full number of repetitions, and try to practice each exercise mindfully. So really making sure that you're looking after your body, and that you're working towards things rather than rushing into them. Okay, so how we build this practice is that we begin just by doing 3 repetitions of each rite. So it's very quick, it can be done in like a few minutes, really, really quickly. So first of all, we would do 3 repetitions, which is what I'll walk you through today. And then the idea is that you do a weekly practice of those 3 repetitions of each one. So you're doing 15 moves each morning. Okay, and then when you get to the second week, you add 2 on. So you go up to 5. When you get to the third week, you go up to 7, etc. If you feel that you want to jump a little bit and go up to another odd number, feel free to do so. But always a maximum of 21 repetitions. So you do no more than 21. Excuse me. And you'll see when we get started, for everybody, they will find one of them, you know, is harder than the other for them. So, you know, 21 repetitions is great, but don't bust a gut to get there. We build our way up. We build on this practice on a daily basis. Another thing that you need to remember is to take a good 2 or 3 long cleansing breaths between each rite. This kind of helps to end the previous rite and then set your body for the next rite. So it's important that you do those breaths between. So I'll, you know, obviously as we're doing the walkthrough this week, then I will make sure that you're doing that. But when you're on your own, just make sure that you breathe in and out, in through the nose and out through the mouth quite strongly. And the preferred method is to breathe in between them, really fill those lungs, almost like a deep Ujjayi breath. So really hearing out as you breathe in and fill the lungs. And then when you exhale, form an O with the mouth. Ooh, I don't know what that was. Form an O with the mouth, and then breathe out. And breathe out all of the air as much as you can. So we try to do this nice kind of, but again, remember, if that breathing makes you feel a little bit dizzy, rein it in a little bit. I don't want any accidents. Obviously, I can't see you at home. It's not like when I'm in the class. So really make sure that you look after yourself and you only do what works for you. Good. So we're going to come over onto the mat now and begin our first rite. And as I say, what I'm going to do is I'll put this up online, or I'll take a photograph of it and pop it online. And it gives you all the information and how to do them, and a couple of sort of little pictures at the bottom as well of how, you know, what we're looking for. And really the main thing as well with these Tibetan rites is to sort of enjoy them a little bit. Know that you can bring them into your own practice at any time, as, you know, for yourself, you know, and you don't need me to lead you through them. I mean, obviously now you want to learn about them, but once you've done them a few times, but certainly once you've done it for a week, it feels like something that you can do on a regular basis. So if any of you have any questions about your health or any concerns about any of the poses, please feel free to message me after the class, or you can even put up in the comments after class. I'll leave the feed on for a few moments, you know, maybe for 5 or 10 minutes, just in case there are any questions from any of you. Okay, so I'm going to come over onto the mat now, and we're going to begin with our first Tibetan rite, which is the spin. So I'll be showing you modifications as well as things to be thinking about when you are actually practicing. So first of all, as you come into your living room, you don't have to be on a mat for this at all. If you've got a mat out, that's fine. First of all, I want you to just nice and softly lift the arms up and just take a little spin around, and make sure you're not going to knock over any lamps or ornaments or, you know, anything like that. So just a nice gentle one, very slow all the way around. You're not kind of putting any pressure on yourself, you're just noticing where you are there. Okay, now release those arms, give them a little shake. Good. Now, in order to get this shoulder girdle in the right place, I want you to just take the arms up and behind, take the fingertips to the back of the head. Okay, and then very gently draw your elbows back and you can feel this opening happen in the chest, and you'll feel the shoulders just begin to squeeze together, okay? So notice that position with the shoulders, and then release the arms, but keep your shoulders squeezing together in that same way. Palms face downwards. Relax the shoulders a little bit, but keep that engagement. Beautiful. Okay, so our first rotation, and we're going to be turning clockwise all the time. So we turn towards the right, and that's an important part of the right. So make sure that you're always turning to the right with your spin. And we're going to do 3 very slow, excuse me, it's already started my throat chakra going. We're going to do 3 nice slow spins. So move the feet. And what they suggest as well with this is that you keep focused at 2 points, one there and one there as you come round. That stops you from getting too dizzy, okay? So let's take a breath in. As we exhale, just begin, keep your focus to the point, one point at the front, and then we're going to turn the head. Focus again, and then back. That's 1 rotation. Good. And then slowly again. Nice rotation around. Keep that focus, and back. Number 2. And then number 3. All the way around. Nice and slow. So there's no kind of forcing. And release your hands down. So arms come down. Deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And again, breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good. So that was nice and gentle, just 3 repetitions. When we begin tomorrow, we will probably start at 5, I think, to begin with. I'm going to have a little check on who's there, make sure everybody feels comfortable with it. But we'll probably start with the 5 repetitions of each one tomorrow, and there'll be a little bit of a warm-up and a warm-down. So that's number 1, spinning. As you can see, it starts to turn the body around, and as you work up to 21, you can see you can become more vigorous, you can breathe a little bit slower and deeper, and you can, you do find that it really starts to work a little bit more. The other thing I forgot to mention, draw your belly in when you're working through this pose as well. So keeping that lovely long line through the body. So it's really important you focus on that long line. Palms face down and you turn. Good, so that was number 1. Number 2 is our leg lifts. So this is one I find a little bit more challenging. But again, for some people, the spinning might be the most challenging one. Right, number 2, we come down onto the floor. Okay, release down into Shavasana for a moment and take a lovely long breath in here. Just release for a moment. Lying down. I'm going to bring the arms in alongside, palms face down. And we're going to flex the feet. So importantly, I want you to turn your toes up towards the ceiling and press into the heel. So if any of you suffer with lower backs, take the hands gently underneath the bottom, a little bit like we do in our Matsyasana, fish pose. And again, from a modification point of view, we're going to take a nice big breath in here, and I'll show you the full leg lift to begin with, and then I'll give you the modification. So breath in. As you breathe out, we're going to pick up the legs to 90 degrees and pick up the head, but keep your shoulders down on the mat, okay? And then slowly lower down. Good. And that's 1 leg lift. Now, if that feels too strong for you, you can work individually, picking up 1 leg on the head and releasing down, hands underneath the bottom, picking up 2nd leg and down. And you can work at that pace if you want to, you know. So we're gonna go through 3 of these to begin with, and remember, you can just do 1 leg at a time if you want to. Just doing those 3 times, crunching into the stomach with your leg lift. So if you're strong through your back, you may want to just have the hands down by the side and just work here. Okay. But for most of us, me included, it's a little bit more safer to have the hands gently underneath the bottom. All right. So open through those collarbones, press into the heels, take a nice deep breath in. As we exhale, we're going to pick up the legs and the head. Exhale, all the way down. Inhale. Exhale as we pick up those legs, pick up the head. And down. And one more time, breath in. Exhale, all the way up. And slowly down. Good. Release. Let go of the belly for a moment. Let go of the arms and legs. Take one hand to the belly. Nice breath in. And a breath out through the mouth. Breath in here. And out through the mouth. And one more. Deep breath in here. And out through the mouth. Good. Well done. Lovely. So let's bring ourselves up. And we're going to come this time to knees. And this we're going to come to what we call dynamic ustrasana, which is again a form of camel pose, but again you can take it at your own pace. It doesn't have to be a big move, it can be a nice gentle move if you need it to be. So we're going to tuck the toes under here. Remember, if any of you have any knee issues, you can pop a blanket underneath the knees and give a little bit of cushioning into the knee joint. The feet are, the knees are around about hip width apart, so make sure they're nice and straight down here. Good. Tuck under with those toes if it feels good, because it gives you a little extra stretch into the back of those toes, which is a great thing to do every day. It gives you that good mobility through the feet. Nice stretch through the sole of the foot. Okay, so a couple of options again here. If your back is, if you do have a little bit of issues with your back and you're prone to pulling the back, we're going to begin by just taking the hands to just underneath the bottom and opening your collarbones. Good. Looking straight ahead, lift up nice and tall through the crown of the head. If your back is a little better, you can take the hands into, actually it's the other way around, sorry. If your back is feeling a bit weak, take the hands into the lower back here and just support it a little bit like a corset, like your girdle. If it's a bit better, take those hands down so you can see. But have a little play around. There's two options here and it very much depends on what goes on with your back. And we're going to start nice and gently. So the first one I'm going to do will be a really nice gentle one, just with the hands pressed in, creating a form of corset around that lower back. Okay, take a nice big breath in here. Good. So what we're going to do is we're going to inhale and just take it back a little bit. Open your chest. Good. And then nod the head forwards, chin comes to the chest. Beautiful. Okay. Inhale as we open the chest. And exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, open the chest. And exhale, chin to chest. Good. Release the hands, take a couple of breaths in here. And for those of you that want to try the other way, I'm going to run through just 3 on the other, 3 with the hands lower down, just to see the difference here. So again, just keep pressing into the undersides of the toes. Take the hands to just underneath the bottom tops of the thighs. Open through the front of the collarbone. Lovely. As you breathe in, we're going to press the hips forwards a little bit more and open the chest. Good. As we breathe out, again, chin comes to the chest as we come upright. Good. Inhale, all the way back. Exhale, chin to chest. And one more time. Inhale, open that chest. And exhale, chin to chest. And you can release down to kneeling if you want to, or you can come onto your bottom. Breathe in and out through the mouth. Breathe in, out through the mouth. And one more time. Breathe in and out through the mouth. Good. So that's number 3, dynamic ustrasana. Really good. We're going to move now to number 4, which is a dynamic tabletop. So we're going to be coming into Dandasana to begin this pose. And again, there is a modification here. So we begin in Dandasana. Take the hands, pressing them down into your mat, lifting up nice and tall through the crown of the head. And again, thinking about drawing those shoulders back so we get a nice connection into the upper body. And then we're going to take a lovely big breath in. And this is the modified version first. As we exhale, we're just going to slide the bottom forwards. So the fingertips are pointing forwards, but remember you can take them out to the side if that feels a bit better for your wrist. And then you're going to press back, exhale back. So you're going to inhale forwards, slide your bottom along, and exhale back. Good. And this might be enough for you. One more time. Inhale forwards, squeeze those shoulders, and exhale back. If you want to move towards the fuller version of the rites, what we do is maybe taking those feet a little bit wider so they're around about hip width. I'm going to bend those knees just a fraction. Press down into the palms of the hands, open through those collarbones. Take a nice big breath in here. Exhale, lift the hips up into reverse tabletop. Good. And release all the way down. Good. So, breath in as we lift. Breath out, hips come back. Breath in as we lift. Breath out, hips come back. Breath in as we lift. Good. Draw your belly in. Breath out, hips come back. Beautiful. Give the hands a nice rotation. Just let go of any tension through your wrists. So as you can see, as you slow those down with your breath, and as you build up to 21 of those, that's going to be very toning for the body, and it's going to work to realign the shoulders, work the abdominals, lots and lots of different things that it's helpful with. Good, but there are those two modifications. So remember, you can either just be sliding the body forwards, sliding it back, or you can be lifting it all the way up and then taking it back. Good. Okay. So, breath in here. Let's just take a couple of cleansing breaths before we move into our final Tibetan rite, number 5. Breath in and out through the mouth. Good. Breath in and out through the mouth. Breath in and out through the mouth. Good. Relax the body a little bit. It's really good to get this kind of break in between each rite, because you put a full stop on the end of that first pose, and then you're beginning the second. You're beginning the next pose each time. Okay. So the final rite is our up dog, down dog. And again, there's a modification here for this. So if you find up dog and down dog a bit too much on your lower back, which some days I do, because I suffer a little bit now and again with the back, then we're going to do this just on hands and knees. So the modified version is hands and knees, and it's a cat-cow, but the breath is slightly different to cat-cow. The breath is opposite within the Tibetan rites. So first of all, take those fingers, press them down into the floor, spread the fingers as wide as you can. Press the feet down, make sure you're nice and parallel. Good, good. We're going to take a nice big breath in here and exhale. Then as you inhale, draw your belly in, coming into cat pose. Exhale, release the belly, look up through the eyebrows. Feel a bit weird because it's different to usual. So inhale up and exhale. Inhaling up and exhale. Beautiful. So that's your modification, doing 3 rounds. Now, if you want to come into the full rite, what we're going to do is begin in plank. So we start by pressing down into the hands. You can have the knees down if you want to. So first of all, find a little down dog and come into your plank. Okay, maybe the knees down if that feels better for you. Shoulders are away from the ears. Good. Take a breath in, and we're going to just come to our plank. Draw your belly in, breath in again, and exhale. And then we're going to inhale to down dog. Good. And exhale, lower the hips all the way down, open through the collarbones. Good, into up dog. Keep the toes tucked under. Inhale to your down dog. Good. And exhale all the way down into your upward facing dog. Inhale into down dog. And exhale to up dog. Good. Back to plank for a moment. Pop the knees down and sit back into your heels. Good. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. And one more time. Breath in and breath out. Good. Well done, everybody. So you have now completed the 5 Tibetan rites. Let me come back up to join you. We're on about 9:30, so it's not quite as long as I thought. As you can see, it doesn't take too long to go through the Tibetan rites. So, you know, tomorrow's practice, what my plan is to do a little warm up in the morning, the Tibetan rites, and then a little warm down and maybe a 5-minute seated meditation. So that has hopefully given you some good instruction for what we're going to be doing for the rest of the week. If you have any questions, feel free to stick them up on the comments now if you want to. I'm going to be here for a couple of minutes, just in case anyone has. Hopefully that's kind of fully explained them. The other thing I'm going to do, as I say, is to take a copy of that and pop it onto the group so that you can see what's going on. So hopefully you've all kind of got a bit of an idea of what we're doing from tomorrow. I'm thinking we've got the time, because I was planning on being here for 40 minutes. Would you like us to go... good. Would you like us to go through one round of them now? Because we can do it in 5 minutes if we just do 3. Anybody up for that? I think you probably... There's a few of you all still there, so I think that's probably my answer. So let's go through and just do one round of 3 of them each without me... Hang on, shower first. Bless you. Thanks, Melissa. I love that. Great. So we're going to go through and do just 3 of each, okay, without me doing all the explaining quite so much. So you'll get an idea of how long it all is. Okay, so let's take the arms out to the side. Well, first of all, let's breathe in. Find your mountain pose Tadasana. Palms of the hands together. Okay, press the palms of the hands together. Close the eyes for a moment and just breathe in and breathe out. Good. Inhale and exhale. Nice. And again, nice deep breath in. And a long, slow breath out as we press the soles of the feet down into the floor. Good. Breath in here, bring the arms up, palms facing downwards, squeeze your shoulders together. Lovely big breath in here. We're going to turn towards the right. Exhale. Turning once. Turning twice, nice and slowly. And turning 3 times. Good. Hands to the hips. Bring the hands together. Focus on those thumbs if you're feeling a little bit dizzy. Hands on the hips. Breath in through the nose. Out through the mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. And one more time. In through the nose. And out through the mouth. Beautiful. Well done. Come down to the floor. Legs extend away. I'll be doing the full version, but remember you can do one leg only if you need to. Hands underneath the bottom, strong through the abdominals, squeezing shoulders together. Breath in here. Exhale. Legs lift, head lift. All the way down. Good. Inhaling up. Exhaling. All the way up. And exhaling. Well done. Release the body down. Let go. Hands to the belly. Breath in. Breath out through the mouth. Breath in. Breath out through the mouth. Breath in. Breath out through the mouth. Good. Well done. Lovely. Let's rock up seated. Come onto your knees. Remember, if you need padding underneath the knees, you're welcome to. Hands either into the lower back or top of the thighs, hamstrings. Nice. Take a nice breath in. As you release and lower back. Good. Press your hips forwards. Exhaling, chin to chest. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, open. Exhale, chin to chest. Good. Breathe in here. Release back down to your knees. Breath in through the nose. Out through the mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. In through the nose. And out through the mouth. Good. Come over onto your bottom, into Dandasana. Press palms of the hands down, slightly bend the knees, take a nice big breath in. Remember, you can just slide the bottom forwards and back if that feels better for you. Inhale, uplift. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. One more time. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Good. Back to Dandasana. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And one more time, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good. Let's come forwards to hands and knees. You can either take yourself to cat-cow here, just be on your hands and knees, or come to plank. Good. Take a breath in into downward facing dog. Breath out, up dog. Breath in, down dog. Breath out, up dog. One more time, breath in, down dog. And breath out, up dog. Good. Come back to those knees. Hands to your heart center. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And one more time. Breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Beautiful. Release your hands. Close the eyes for a moment. Just allow the energy to settle in the body. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. Well done, everybody. So, that was one full round of it. It took probably about 7 or 8 minutes to do the 3 of each. From tomorrow morning, we'll begin with 5. Okay, but remember, you can always use your modifications. You can always rest. So if you're finding that one of the particular poses is more stronger for you than another, you know, that's okay. Take the rest if you need to. This is a learning week, so we're learning about the 5 Tibetan rites. And then hopefully from next week, some of you will want to bring this into your daily practice, and you see how quickly you can do it. 8 minutes and you've kind of done everything, you know, which is brilliant. So I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. As I say, I'll have a check through the comments. If there's any questions about anything, feel free to message me individually. You know, you can private message me if you've got any concerns, or of course you can just put something in the group and I'll answer when I can. Lovely. So I hope that was all informative for you. That's going to be our challenge for this week. I'll be doing it at 9 AM every morning. Tomorrow's class will be at 10 till 11 as well. Thursday's class will be 9:30 through to 11, so the more therapeutic version. And of course I've got the 2 evening classes too. If any of you want to have a look back in the groups to see what we've been doing over the last week and to do the sun salutation challenge at the moment, again, you're very welcome to repeat that too. I love these little sequences of things because they can be kind of slotted into your day so much, you know, easier. And although, you know, sometimes we find it quite hard, especially if we've got children at home, to kind of fit all that stuff in, you know, if we're doing it for a long time. So fingers crossed you're enjoying it. Let me know how you've got on. Feel free to do a little bit of practice too whenever you want to, and take good care. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you back on the mat here for my full sort of program tomorrow. So Tibetan Rites 9 AM, normal class 10 a.m. tomorrow. Okay, thank you. Have a lovely rest of your day, lovely Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.